Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. for the Radiant Mind Meditation with Dr. John Gray, the #1 trusted relationship expert, the author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. What many people don't know is that John Gray spent 9 years as a celibate monk and the personal assistant to the founder of Transcendental Meditation. During this time, he learned powerful meditation practices and techniques, which he has developed and refined for the last 50 years. He now brings us his resonance, wisdom, and energy every week on Wednesdays at 7 a.m. on the Soul Search Instagram Live, Facebook Live, and YouTube. Join us every Wednesday. Hi, everyone. Good morning, and thank you for joining us for today's Radiant Mind Meditation with Dr. John Gray. We're always excited for these meditations because we can connect together in the quantum field, connect with John and one another to really support ourselves in achieving these higher levels of consciousness. John, thank you so much for leading these meditations every week. They're definitely supporting me and my spiritual journey. And I know from all the comments that come in from everyone around the world that it's supporting them too. So, John, thank you so much for being here, and I will let you take it away.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Good evening, wherever you are in the world, and on the replays as well. It's a guided meditation, and you're able to connect with this global consciousness, which is timeless. And you can always have your favorite ones where you can go back. There's different themes. I think today we're going to do a theme with overcoming fear and anxiety. This is a meditation. Just part of it will be about looking at what we're afraid of. We're afraid what possibly could happen. Whenever we're experiencing an anxiousness, a fear, or we're scared, it's coming from the most primitive part of our brain. Being just afraid is coming from more of the limbic system of the brain, the conditioned childhood part of our brain. But we do carry within us the lineage of the deeper fears that were not resolved in the past. And that's our unconscious mind. We absorb that from our parents and their lineage. And as we become more daring and more bold in our lives to step out of our comfort zones, all that conditioning throughout the lineages in the past will come up and say, no, you have to stay in your box. It's too scary to go out in the box. And this is a time of tremendous change where we live a certain way, and now we have to step out of that box. In a sense, we have to become grown-ups and responsible for our own lives rather than so dependent on others to tell us what to do. You know, in my mind, I see such an awakening in the politics of people waking up to recognizing that a lot of what we've been trusting and believing is a deception. And sometimes there's truth to what people say, but there's a lot of omission. You can just kind of go back and forth from the left to the right, left to the right, right to the left. And you can see how people will focus on one side of the truth, but not the whole truth. And today it's more obvious to us than ever before. It's always been that way. There's always been deception from authorities. And it's just a mirror, what we see in politics. It's a mirror, and also in the medical community as well. You know, so many drugs are prescribed by doctors who we trust. And then we find out there's hundreds of drugs every year taken off the market because they have side effects. And yet that is not explored. The whole realm of deception is being revealed. We're awakening to that truth that we've all been misled. And for many people, their transition to awakening is some personal betrayal. On a more spiritual, positive level, from the point of view of our spiritual higher self, in a sense, everything is perfect. It's like all coming together, a puzzle that's fitting together. In my life, for example, at 70 years old, at 73 years old, I can look back at all of the betrayals, which were painful, and yet they all led me to where I am today. The wisdom, the joy, the happiness, the forgiveness, the compassion, the empathy. These are all wonderful virtues and values that we as human beings are here on this planet to access and develop and become stronger as loving human beings, but also courageous human beings, willing to align ourselves with what is not yet formed. We hold a vision of what's possible for our future. And yet when we step out of that box, it's like, do we know for sure? Is it going to happen? Do we have the support? Will we fail? Will we succeed? And so many of our parents' generation, they just stayed in their comfort zone. They believed what people told them. They followed instructions. They followed the rules. And then suddenly, the last 30, 40 years been a big breakout, where people are waking up and seeing that you can't trust authorities. And ultimately, on a personal level, we need to let go of trusting the messages we received in childhood. And what are those messages? Which is that for some of us, stay quiet, keep your head down. For others, it's punishment, which is, if you make a mistake, you deserve to be punished. I remember observing that in one relationship I was in a long time ago, where the children were loved, and then the children misbehaved, and then they were punished and sent to their room, and you're bad, you go away, and then 10 minutes later, now you can come out, now you can be good again. So if you suffer, if you go through crying and you're upset, now you can come back out and you can be loved. So we're trained from childhood that if we don't obey authority, then we get punished, and then we're not worthy of love for a while, and then we're worthy of love. And this is a different way of looking at it from the point of view of, if a child's out of control, they're dominating the situation, you need to go stand in a corner or sit on a chair or go to your room for a short period of time to collect yourself. That's time out, so to speak, but never as a punishment. But you have to come back to, we all, when we start acting out, getting upset or so forth, we all need some time to cool down. So it's just a cooling down period where it's important. So we've been transitioning out of the whole idea of whipping your children, but that was very common practice for many of us growing up, is to be spanked or whipped or yelled at, or to witness violence between two people who love each other. This is a very confusing message for us as children. If our parents are arguing and fighting, if they argue and fight, what happens is we end up feeling, now you may not be aware of this, but when you're young children, you end up feeling like it's your fault. It doesn't make sense from one point of view, but to understand from a child's point of view, it doesn't have yet a brain to separate themselves from the parents. All they know is to disidentify, which is part of growing up, that we are different from them. For the child, they live in a state of fantasy, a state of imagination. It's not yet real. Things aren't concrete. The brain waves of a child are in the theta state, the imagination state. And that's part of the power of radiant mind meditation, is we will go into the theta state. It's like a dream state. It's a frequency in your brain where you can form beliefs about the world or change old beliefs. If you think about the child coming into this world and everyone's happy to see you, your first belief is, I make people happy. But we have so many people pleasers. As we know, we can make people happy, and it feels good to make people happy. But then when they're not happy and we're little children, we feel it's our fault. And that's called taking things personally. That's what we do in our relationships when our partners aren't happy. We get upset with them. We feel like we're being blamed rather than they're just out of balance at that time. It'd be, if I was teaching a class and everybody just walked out, I feel like, oh my gosh, I failed. I disappointed everybody. I didn't do the right thing. I need to give up, as opposed to, I need to understand why they left and let me adjust myself and figure it out. But to take it personally, it means to feel hurt by it. to feel rejected by it, to feel I'm not good enough by it. And this is a very primitive, childlike part of the brain that by getting in touch with these feelings of fear and being scared and feeling hurt or feeling sad, these are primitive emotions, which are very important for us to not suppress, because that's the part of the brain that actually regenerates and heals us and keeps us young and keeps us having a healthy sex drive. All those things are from the unconscious mind. So we never want to repress what the unconscious mind brings up. We want to enlighten it. We want to upgrade it. We want to, in the Christian tradition, we want to repent, which is recognize I'm making a mistake and I want to let this go. I don't want this to control me. But this is what happens in our lives, which is kind of a failure, a system for failure, is we start to step out of our comfort zone, which means more life forces coming forth. We're believing I can, I will, I deserve, all that good stuff I love. And when we step out of that comfort zone, everything that was keeping us in the comfort zone, which is you don't deserve, you can't do it, you won't do it, just obey, just follow, believe, and the limitations that have been put on you. And a part of that limitation is that we can't do. I remember when I was stepping out of my comfort zone, I'm going to teach my own classes. My parents thought, well, who are you to do that? And actually, my mother wasn't that way. Nor was my dad, but my brothers and sisters, they're all like, how can you think of doing that? And I said, I'm going to write a book. And they said, who are you to write a book? Because they just see me as this little brother, as opposed to somebody who's growing up and has a dream and has a passion, has a skill that he's developing. So we have to break out of that box around us telling us we can't do it and we're unable to do it. So when you experience stepping out of the box, you first start with it pulling in a lot of energy, which says that I can do. And so you're motivated. But then then as soon as that energy starts flowing, we haven't yet, in a sense, created the channels for the energy to flow through us. Whatever keeps us back shows up. So stepping out of your comfort zone brings up the unresolved fears from childhood that we absorb from our parents to a great degree. So just taking in this information as people are coming in to join us, I always sort of warm us up with where we're going to go with this. But this was a very profound meditative experience for me, which was as I became more and more successful with hundreds of thousands of people, 50,000 people a week for several years, just buying my books, thinking about me. There's a lot of energy coming at me where I was going. People acknowledging me, appreciating me, and you think, oh, that makes things so easy. But actually, it's more energy that has to flow through. There's a story about Michael Jackson, who, great performer on stage. And he said in his life, he was never happy. The only time he was happy is when he was expressing his genius on stage, because that means all this energy was coming to him, so hugely famous, energy flowing to him. Every time people listening to his music, dancing to his music, that's energy coming to him because he sourced that. It came through him. So that energy comes to him. And unless he's channeling that energy back out, unless the genius is coming through, it gets jammed up inside. It gets blocked energy. So the idea of these meditations is we turn on the channels. I can help awaken you to feel the energy. And when you can feel the energy, then with intention, you can draw the energy to you. And the truth is, it's always coming to us. We're just not feeling it, not aware of it. But when we can feel the divine energy or the chi energy or the Holy Spirit energy, different religions talk about it differently, angel energy. When the angels come, you feel their presence and you can ask. You must ask and you shall receive. Then you ask for more. And the way you ask for more is to feel what you want. This is what I want. And you feel that desire for more. That's your intention. And it turns on your fingertips. We use the fingertips fingertips are how we feel the world. So we just feel. And those of you who have done the meditations with me, even as I'm talking, just let yourself connect with me. I've just turned on my fingertips as well. But now that the energy is just coming in, but we do a little ritual in the beginning, an invocation. We call upon, dear God, put our arms out. Our hearts are open to you. Please come. And our hands slowly coming together. With the intention to bless our lives, to heal our hearts, to help heal any fears that are holding us back in life, so that we can manifest our mission in this world, discover our purpose, to once we know our purpose and mission, to follow through and continue taking the next step on our journey, because every step hits a block, and then we want to remove that block, and then more energy can flow. We take our next step and next step. And how we overcome the fears that hold us back is to realize that as we're getting closer on aligning with our path, taking the next step, sometimes issues will come up. So when I was like really found my mission, teaching men are from Mars, women are from Venus, helping people relationships, having so much energy come to me, I would have to spend a lot of time processing the emotions that come up that hold me back from the next step. So if you're on an accelerated path to more because you're wanting more, then what has to happen is that the energy will flow through you, blocks will show up, and it can be very confusing, because when you start to align yourself with your soul's journey, more energy flows, then boom, fear can come up, negativity can come up, circumstances in your life will show up to help you get in touch with and become aware of those energy blocks. And so all it takes is to step out of your comfort zone, notice how you feel, and then you have something to process. Now that's in terms of following our dreams. One of the immediate ways to process, to get in touch with anything that's holding you back from your highest purpose, which is to love. Well, that's romance, to be in a romantic relationship. And I just want to mention once again, and you see online, starting 2 days, we're doing our 6-week online relationship mastery class, where I'll be guiding you through how to overcome the challenges that go on in relationships. Because many times people, they go into meditative states. For some of you who are advanced meditators, you could go into your blissful meditation, but then you get in a relationship and your partner's not responding the way you think they should. And suddenly you have anger, and you have anxiety, you shut down, you feel judgmental, or you feel critical, or you feel resentful. All of these things are your own blocks. You set it up unconsciously, subconsciously, or the world just is a mirror of what comes up inside of you. Because every situation has one way of looking at it, which here's a lesson for me to learn. And another situation is, here I'm a victim. And both are happening simultaneously. When we don't get what we need, we have emotional responses. By being able to process those emotional responses in a meditative state, which is what we're going to do today, then what happens is we're basically able to transform that block into an open channel for the energy to flow. So we're about to go into our meditation, and we just go through these 7 steps, is bringing the energy down first. The seven intentions is, dear God, we open our heart to you. Come, that's 3. And then it comes to the heart center. 4, setting the intention. Fill us with your love and light. Bless our lives. Bless our relationships. Help us support our success today. Heal our fears and any anxiety that we might have in our life. There's so much financial pressures that people are experiencing these days, and fears about what's going to happen next. We're in a time of great uncertainty. Comfort zone is certainty, and then we're going to step out of that to a new and better world. There's an uncertainty. There's the brimming of world war. There's the elections, whichever side you're on. What's going to happen? It's all confusing. Things are turning over. Could be in our personal lives. Someone sick. What's going to happen there? It can be financial pressures. How am I going to pay these bills, or what's going to happen in the future? For me, my wife is wanting to start a new business. I'm thinking about renting a 3-year lease for her to create her kitchen, where she wants to have a dessert restaurant. So I support her in her dream. It's all, life has changes, and sometimes there'll be failure, sometimes there'll be success. But when you're aligning with your soul, everything is brought to you in order to get in touch with the things that hold you back from connecting to source, to finding your way, to fulfill the dreams that are within you. So, sometimes you might have a dream for 10 years. I wanted to be a best-selling author, and it didn't happen, and I couldn't have publishers. I just went along with that intention and that hope and that dream. And eventually things unfolded perfectly to develop me, to help me be ready for that to happen, the onslaught of that success, and be grounded. So we all have our different paths and our different journeys. And today we're going to go into our meditative state and develop the theta frequency, which is like we're children. See, as children, we're molded. And then as we come into more waking state frequencies, developing the brain and so forth, other frequencies are going on, and we're fixed beliefs, the fixed beliefs of what I can do, what I can't do, what I think about myself, what other people think about me. We absorbed all that. A lot of it, we just absorbed our parents' feelings when we were young, when our minds were like clay, they could be formed. So in meditation, we soften our sense of being back to where we were as children, where we can reprogram ourselves, form new beliefs, affirm truth that we get from our higher source. So those are some thoughts for today to ponder, way of looking at the world. And now we're going to go into our radiant mind meditation. And this is, I call it the radiant mind because as we move along, our mind, the sense of above here, is filled with light. Our lightness, either light or lightness, expansiveness, a sense of freedom, a sense of authenticity. And that freedom and authenticity, as you become grounded in it in your own personal life, by doing the work to sustain a loving relationship, then you're able to feel that authenticity of being who you are 100% with another human being, not having to hide yourself, being naked, basically. And this is why ultimately making love is such an amazing experience, where you can, on a physical plane, bring that light down into the body through love and be naked with your partner and enjoy each other in this physical form, not just the bliss of going into your higher self, which is what we do together. And that's very blissful and very free. But then actually bring this into the world through love. And when you have that love and bring it into the body, and that's the ecstasy, that's the freedom of bringing the light all the way into the physical plane. And with that foundation, greater motivation and opportunity to create and manifest a divine plan in your life. So let's get down to the basis of that, which is to reconnect with our soul and remove any blocks to allowing that to happen in our lives. So we'll put our hands up in the air like this. We set our intention, which is connecting with the divine. Dear God, our hearts are open to you, arms wide open. Let's do a little extra something today. Let's bring our awareness to our breath. In most meditative practice, it's always good to begin with a little conscious breathing. So put our hands back up in the air, dear God, and take a breath. Our hearts are open to you, arms wide to the side. Take a breath. Hands by the side of the shoulders, facing out. Like drawing energy down. Take a breath. And now hands slowly coming together. Not having to touch, so you can sort of more easily tune into the space between your hands and your palms and your fingertips. And take a breath. And this time, as we breathe, I'd like you to, we're going to go through those first four steps a few times. That sort of puts us into the state of deep meditation. As to, with your breathing, breathe in through your nose to basically a count of 4 or 5. And on the exhale, to a count of 6 or 8. A little bit longer on the exhale. And notice when you breathe to use your belly. So as you're breathing in, your belly goes out. You're filling up your belly. As you breathe in, your belly goes out. And as you breathe in, the belly goes out. And as you breathe out, your belly goes in. You breathe in, your belly goes out. As you exhale, the belly pulls in. Okay, so we'll start again with conscious breathing with the hand movements. Dear God, the longer exhale. Our hearts are open to you. Breathing in with a longer exhale. And now hands coming to the shoulders, palms out. Breathe in. And exhale longer. Feel your fingertips starting to wake up, your palms waking up. And slowly bring your hands together, but not touching. Feel the energy field between the two hands. And longer exhale. And for those just beginning to awaken the awareness of your energy field, you can palpate, which is just have your hands just kind of like you have a ball and you're just pushing it in and out, getting a sense of the non-physical space. And also slowing down our consciousness, noticing little details. A few more deep breaths, breathing in and exhaling. Longer. Breathing in and a longer exhale. So, dear God, our hearts are open to you. Please come. Fill us with your love and light. Bless this meditation. Help us today to feel and let go of any fears or anxieties we might have. Help us to feel and let go of any fears and negativity within us, to release it, to restore our innocence and our pure motivations. So we offer up. The hands going out. Take another breath. On the exhale, a little longer. So what frequencies are we going to use today? We'll use water, think of the ocean. Now, those of you who come back again and again, you can always have on your table a candle, a cup of water, so you can actually feel those, be present with those frequencies in a physical level. You imagine candles burning around you, or you can be out in the sun and have the sun shining on you using the sun, the light. So use this light, use this fire frequency to fill us with your love and light. Use this water frequency to fill us with your love and light. Use the earth. You can have a crystal in front of you. Just to sort of put your attention on that crystal for a moment. If you don't have that crystal, you can always just notice the ground below you. Go deep in your awareness. There's crystals in the ground. Using the pure crystal frequencies, fill us with your love and light. And of course, using the breath, using the air, and exhaling a little bit longer. So using these frequencies, and now imagine a beautiful vista view. For me, I just think about the view to the mountain in front of me. A big space. Using this space, fill us with your love and light. This is anchoring the divine, non-physical reality into the frequencies of this earth, three-dimensional reality. So using these frequencies, fill us with your love and light. And then sense of hands moving in a circle coming down. Sort of show how that looks, but it comes like this. And these motions are just so wonderful because if you just do the motions, sometimes you don't have to think. You just go right into the state. You're training your body to go into these 7 levels. And in this state, it's right now. Using these frequencies, fill us with your love and light. Right now, surround us by your angelic presence. Send your angels using these frequencies to fill us with your love and light. Right now, send the energy, divine energy, using these frequencies to open our hearts to receive more and express more of your love and your light, of your healing energy, which is intelligent, knows just what to do, guides us at every step of the way. And now, palms open, relaxed, saying thank you. As we say thank you, we give thanks to God for using these frequencies and sending your divine angels to bless us today, to bless our lives, to bless everyone in this meditation, and through us to help bless the world with more light and with love, blessing our families, blessing our businesses with abundance. And now we feel the activation of our fingertips. Just notice your fingertips beginning to tingle, feel a warmth. Imagine it filling with light. Let that light go down and to the center of your palms. So your whole hands are tingling with the divine energy. This is waking up the channels to receive divine energy. So as we say thank you, we acknowledge that right now, we say to ourselves, we're now receiving the divine energy to make our dreams come true, to heal our hearts, and to take away any fears that we have, so that we can find the trust, the faith, the courage, the knowing that we're in the right time and the right place in the process of making our dreams come true, in the process of having and attracting all that we need to achieve our goals, one step at a time. Help restore the patience in our soul, activate that, to not demand, but to trust. Like a little child, just not in a hurry, just wandering around in a world of exploration, learning, new experiences, trusting all will come to you that you need to make your dreams come true. The knowledge, the guidance, the experience, the healing, the opening, inviting all that into our lives as an energy flowing into our fingertips. And as the energy flows in, we feel the energy flowing in, awakening our fingertips. We do a little brief body scan. Sometimes we spend longer at this. The whole meditation could just be a body scan as we turn on the energy. We're going to focus on fears today, so we're going to take less time on the body scan. Let the energy flow from the palms to the elbows, from the elbows up to the shoulders, from the shoulders to your heart. And take a breath, a longer exhale. Every time we take a conscious breath, imagine the energy flowing from your tips of your fingertips to your palms, to your elbows, to your shoulders, to your heart. Another breath. Now we breathe into our lungs through the fingertips. Now we breathe into the liver, down to the right lower part of the body. Now breathe into the stomach, the fingertips on the left side of the body. And now around the navel, the whole microbiome, the belly, filled with light and love, healing energy, intelligent life force energy. As we breathe in again to the fingertips. Up the shoulders, down to the liver, to the stomach, and then to the belly, all lighting up. Take a few deep breaths, relaxing on the exhale as you feel your whole torso with love, light, healing energy. Imagine the angels surrounding you, pouring light, love into you, filling you with more healing energy. And letting the energy go to your pelvis, all the way to your legs, to your knees, to your ankles, to your soles of your feet, to your toes. Breathing in, breathing out. Bring the energy from the toes of your feet up the top of your feet to your knees, to the base of your spine. And now let the energy flow all the way down and up the spine, a couple of inches up, a few more inches up, behind the navel, line the solar plexus, line the heart center, center of the chest, and the neck. And now fill the brain with light. The back of the head, let the energy flow to the back of the brain, to the front of the brain, to the middle of the brain, to the top of the brain, the whole brain lighting up, your whole body filled with light, filled with pleasing energy. Just feel a oneness with the universe. Feel a joyfulness, a blissfulness, a gratitude, this awakening. Let the energy flow down to the heart, down to the belly, down to the base of the spine, and let it circulate back up to the top of your head. And as it's going up, it's coming down. Circulating around. And this is the flow state. And now bring your awareness back to the base of the spine. We're going to move up 3 or 4 inches. Just let it rest there for a moment. And this is where we're going to look at what our fears are. And maybe you're blissed out just doing this, but we're going to take the time to sort of clean the kitchen, scrub it, and give yourself permission to explore what are some of the anxieties or fears that you have in your life right now. What are the places where you feel powerless? Even if you're feeling blissed out, just choose to go to the darker places inside of you where there's anxiousness or fear. What are you afraid of? And sometimes we're afraid to feel our fears, thinking that will just make it worse. But actually, by letting our awareness feel those fears, it's like putting light into the darkness. The darkness disappears. It doesn't even exist until when the light is present. So look inside what you're afraid of. With your finances, what are you afraid of? In your life, your love life, what are you afraid of? In your family, what are you afraid of? With your health, what are you afraid of? If you were to be a negative person, what will your fears be? When you think about your body, what are you afraid of? Where do you feel powerless? With your finances, where do you feel uncertain, powerless? When you think about your goals in life, what are you afraid could go wrong? Now we're going to do something which is the opposite of what you would normally do. Think about where you have the most fear, the fear of some goal not happening. What is it that you want that you're afraid may not happen? And for a brief moment, we're going to explore how would it feel if your fear came true? Imagine something you really, really want and it doesn't happen. Using the imagination. Because whenever you have fear, it's because a part of you is already imagining that that is going to happen. Whatever you're afraid of, you're imagining is going to happen. So let us just step into that imagination and dispel it. So imagine the worst happening. How does it make you feel? Do you feel like a failure? Do you feel powerless? Do you feel you made a mistake? Do you feel people laugh at you? Do you feel you unknowingly hurt others? Do you feel stressed? Imagine your fear coming true. Do you feel sad? What's the predominant feeling for you if what you're afraid of was to come true, was to come about? Even if you're afraid of death, what would happen if you died, but you were still in the non-physical world? How would you feel about the people you left behind? Maybe they depend on you. Maybe you want to start a new business and it failed. How would you feel? We can only imagine how we're feeling. We would feel. We could only have those fears if those very feelings we're afraid of having we experienced in our past. So to heal this, we're now going to leave the imaginary future, knowing how we would feel, and recall a time in your past when something really bad happened that you're afraid will happen again. Something that made you feel really sad, or something that made you feel ashamed, or foolish, or guilty. Or embarrassed. Give yourself permission to feel those feelings in your past. And allow yourself to go even further into your past, as far back as you can recall a time when you felt that sadness, that disappointment of failure, or the fear of failure. Where did that fear come from? Go back as far as you can remember to a time when you felt completely powerless, you made a mistake, and you failed. How you were left, you were lost. See what memories come up for you at a time where you felt powerless, afraid, you felt bad, you felt you made a mistake. Maybe it could even be a time where you were punished and you thought, now you will never be loved again. Now you will never get the love that you deserve. Now everything is ruined. Nothing can be rectified. Now it will be on your record. You did something bad. Sometimes we look at our past like you would look at it wearing a white shirt and staining it with wine. Stain on your body never can go away. As children, we don't know that every experience is an opportunity to grow. And with forgiveness and love, we can be a better person. And regardless of what happens on our journey, that we are worthy of love, we are innocent, and we have lessons to learn to be a better person, to forgive ourselves for not being perfect, forgive others for not loving us and giving us the support we deserve. Give yourself attention, time to go back in the past, recalling a time that's so painful or difficult for you. You had regret, because it's our regrets, painful moments of failure, our loss, our abandonment. These are the foundations of our fear. Because once we've been hurt, then we have the fear of being hurt again. Once we failed, we have the fear of failing again and feeling this way. Now we're going to go a little deeper as you can get in touch with the feelings of disappointment, of failure, of sadness. Imagine going back in time when you're just a little child. What were some of the feelings your mother or father had? What was some of their unhappiness, if you can imagine that? For as adults, knowing what life is like, we can go back and understand our parents even better. Did they feel free? Did they feel supported? Did they feel at ease and comfortable, joyful, happy-go-lucky, no fear? Now, of course, they had their deep fears that held them back in life, their frustrations, their feelings of not good enough. Just like you've had those feelings, they came from your parents deep in their hearts, some more obvious than others. Right now, as you're connecting with those feelings, a little exploration of negative emotions, you just briefly do it. We ask that God's angels take away all this negativity from our past and free us to be fully in present time, happy and free. Free from the past pain. Using this right now, using the water, take away the blocked energy of our pain, of our sadness, of our fear. Imagine now that energy that was flowing in through your fingertips being drawn out of you, pulled out of you, using the water by your angels. Take away the blocked energy in my body, my heart. Using the fire to take away the blocked energy. As we're taking away the fear, shift and give yourself permission in your past or in your parents to feel their anger at the situation they're in. To be angry, they felt betrayed or cheated. Was it all their mistake? It was other people's mistake. Give yourself permission to let go of those feelings. Let it flow into the candles, to the light. Take away any feelings of regret. Take away any fears. Take away any feelings of anger, of injustice. Giving yourself permission on an emotional level to feel the blame that is appropriate. We blame ourselves, but we also blame others for their lack of support, for their lack of forgiveness, for their lack of encouragement. Give yourself permission to feel the hurt, not being seen, of being held to some standard, unrealistic standard of perfection. Take away our negative emotions. Take away the blocked energy of anger. Take away the blocked energy of sadness. Take away the blocked energy of our fears by healing this hurt, this wound inside, this regret. Take it away. Take away the blocked negative energy. So the sense is to get a sense of the energy flowing out through your palms and your fingertips. Out from the lungs through the fingertips, out from the liver, up and out through the fingertips. The hurt in the heart, sadness. down the arms to the fingertips. Breathing into the nose, a little longer on the exhale. Imagine energy on the exhale flowing out through your fingertips into nature. Letting go on the exhale. Energy flowing out. And just as the energy can flow out, we can pull that energy back, but recycled through nature in a pure frequency of love and peace, and joy and happiness. So with just our intent, we ask the energy come back, pulling the energy back, pulling the energy back. And as we pull the energy back, we continue to send old energy out as we pull new energy in, fresh energy of what we want. So as we're sending the old energy out, the energy is flowing out, now pulling it back in to feeling desire. What is it that you want? Feel in your heart as we shift gears from looking at the negative, feeling the positive. Feel that vulnerable part of you. What do you want? You want to feel loved? You want to feel forgiven? You want to feel the truth, guidance? You want to feel help? You want to realize you're not alone, you're loved? What do you want to have? Now imagine what you want when you're a little child at that painful or difficult time when you were afraid. What is it you want? You want help. You want support. You want forgiveness. You want comfort. You want another chance. You want to believe. You want guidance. You want to know that everything's okay. Everything will be all right. That you are good enough just the way you are. That you're loved, appreciated. You are seen. Feel that part of you that needs that loving support. Someone cares about you. You don't have to do it all yourself. You have support at every step of the way. Draw that energy in. As you send out the old, bring in the positive energy. And as you bring in that positive energy, now we're going to send that energy out, back into the water, into the fire, to the space, into the air. But this time sending out positive energy, positive belief. As you imagine, using your imagination, how you would feel at that time when you were vulnerable and needed love and support. Have a loving parent protecting you and guiding you in a world that responded to you. People happy to see you. People loving you. People liking you. Parents saying, I'm so sorry, I forgot you. So sorry I was punishing you. I'm so sorry I hurt you. So sorry I put my problems onto you. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I'll be there for you now. I promise to be there for you. I will help you at every step of the way. That will never happen again because I'm on your side. I won't forget you. I'll always stand by you. You're never alone. You always will have my help. I'm so proud of you. Imagine having that kind of love and support. You're sending your energy out, creating that vision of what wasn't there, but you're creating it now, recreating your past, how it could have been, your parents had understood what you needed, had what they needed to be the loving people they truly are deep inside. And now, as you imagine that vision, imagine it becoming more and more real, as if it's happening. You're back at that time, and you're so innocent, and you're feeling so safe. You have somebody who knows more than you, protecting you, guiding you, supporting you, loving you, seeing you, not demanding anything of you, but for you to be yourself and to take one little step at a time. As you imagine that, the energy flowing into you, through you, to create that vision. Now circulate the energy. You go up and down, as if from the spine to the heavens, back from the heavens and back. And as you circulate the energy in your body, you explore, if you had that loving support, how would it make you feel? Imagine a parent loving you, an environment loving you, liking you, supporting you, seeing you. How do you feel inside? Because how you would feel inside as you imagine that to take place is who you really are. Because love, why we want love, love helps us to see and know who we are. So using the phrase, your love makes me feel, imagine one of your parents or a loving being coming to you and blessing you in the way we've explored. And as they bless you in that way, and respond back, your love makes me feel safe. Your love makes me feel seen. Your love makes me feel I could be myself and be loved. Your love makes me feel I'm not alone. Your love makes me feel confident. Your love helps me feel relaxed. Your love makes me feel free. Your love makes me feel enthusiastic. I have things to do. I have places to go. I'm excited to be here in this world. Feel all the cells of your body tingling in that awareness of who you truly are, what you're here to do and be. And that great unknown, I don't know, but I know it's going to be something wonderful. I'm here in this world for a reason. I think about my little granddaughter. She's just wandering around. Everything is so beautiful. What's next? What's next? What can I do next? One step at a time. What is that? A sound, a flower, a taste, new experiences. Everything is new. So at ease, so comfortable. Your love makes me feel at ease and comfortable throughout the day, throughout the night. I am safe. I am loved. I am free. And as you ground yourself in the feelings of how you would have felt if that love and protection was there, take a moment to affirm the truth about you as you reflect on who am I? I am loved. I am lovable. I deserve to be loved. I'm in this world for a reason. I'm not alone. I'm excited. I'm enthusiastic. I have a new life to live. New experiences are in front of me. I like learning. I deserve success. I deserve freedom. I'm at ease. I'm worthy. Add even more wisdom to this. I'm a magnet. I draw to myself abundance and support. I enjoy my life. I'm grateful. Let's begin to finish this exercise by being in present time, just feeling the truth of our gratitude to be alive at this amazing time of transformation, a time where we can grow so quickly, so much to learn. Let your whole body be tingling in this divine energy. Imagine your body just filled with light, feeling gratitude. And take a moment just to reflect on what makes you grateful, what makes you happy. And feel the oneness with your soul and feel the bliss of recognition of who you are. Feel the bliss of feeling confident I can have, I deserve to have, I will have, I love what I have. I love me, I love you, I love all. Just feel that ocean of love. Feel peace. And with all this good feeling and meditation, take a moment to reflect on the phrase, I realize that. And see what truth comes to you right now. Some answer to any challenges you're facing in your life. So this is that state in which you can know it is true. I realize now that. It could be as simple as I realize now everything's okay. I'm where I need to be. I'm doing what I need to be doing. I'm in this glorious process of living my life, becoming the best person I can be, and getting the love that I deserve, and creating an abundant life to fulfill my needs, to help others fulfill their needs. And just feel that peace as we did this 1 hour exploration. Finishing up after about an hour. Thank you so much for joining me. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. When I count to 3, open your eyes and feel refreshed. 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes, feel refreshed. Bring some of those deep, wonderful feelings of your soul into your day today. Let it be a wonderful day. I invite Tangela to come back and share some of our wonderful opportunities for our community to grow together. We have this, you can see it at the bottom of the picture, it's our 6-week relationship mastery class starting today, August 14th. And I look forward to spending that time with you. I'll talk for about an hour. Our beginning step in relationship mastery will be exploring some of the common misinterpretations and misunderstandings we have in the dating process or in the romance aspect if you're in a relationship. We'll look at some of the differences between men and women. We'll start out with some questions that you've been sending in.